female characters in Final Solution by Mahesh Dattani. So we have seen that there is the communal rights, communal discrimination, communal things we have lot discussed in a Final Solution. But one interesting thing which catch my attention is the female character in Final Solution by Mahesh Dattani. So it is very interesting to see that how Mahesh Dattani portrayed a female character, and yes, there is the three character who is a female. So three are very interesting to see that three represent the three generation. So let's jump more about the female characters. So it's a basic information about me. So before giving the introduction or the analysis of the women character, I would like to give a brief introduction about Mahesh Dattani. So Mahesh Dattani was born on the 7th of August in 1958 in Bangalore, Karnataka. He was educated at Balda Wings Boys High School and then went on to graduate from St. Joseph's College, Bangalore. After graduation, he worked for a brief period as a copywriter for an advertising firm. In 1986, he wrote his first play, Where There Is a Will. So here I put in some famous work written by Mahesh Dattani, and the works are Final Solution, Dance Like a Man, Night Queen, and Tara. So, brief introduction about the text. So, as we know that we have also seen film adaptation, and the play is not a very bulky book. So, it has only three. So, it will be not time consuming if we want to read a Final Solution. And I have read the whole book, Final Solution. So, it is very interesting to read. And when we compare the adaptation and the original text, we found that the adaptation is more appropriate and more convincing for the book. So it will be a more clear, create a more clear concept idea in our mind. So the play was firstly performed in 1993. Dattani's Final Solution reflects the communal issue in which hatred and fear are aroused among the individuals and variety by the help of the sectarians from one individual to another. Main event is Rath Yatra. So as we know that here the whole problem created because of Rath Yatra and these two communities, Hindu and Muslim. So it is the main event of the play, and yes, two important story, Javed story and story of Daksha, or we can say Hardika. And these both stories go parallel with a play. And yes, Mahesh Dattani used a flashback technique to create a more impact and discuss the more idea about the story of our female protagonist, Daksha. So yes, it is very interesting. And when we open our eyes and see the world as a perspective of a Daksha or perspective of the Aruna or perspective of the Sita, that we can find that we are living the same world which the three characters are living. So as I told you, that play discusses the two stories. One is Daksha's and another is Javed. So both characters. I'm not much talking about the Javed story because I'm focusing. I want to focus on Daksha's story. So it is very interesting. Both has this communal bias that Daksha as a Hindu, he has a communal bias toward Muslim, and Javed, who is a Muslim, and he has a communal bias toward the Hindus. So it is very interesting that what event made them to feel biased toward the particular community. So these three characters, and yes, as I told you earlier that drama has a flashback technique. So in the opening scene, we found Daksha as a young woman writing her diary. So young Daksha, then we can jump in old time. We can say in the time when the communal discrimination was happening, Rath Yatra was happening. Then Aruna and Smita. So it is the visualization that how we can visualize or image the three characters. How Daksha was looking, how Aruna was looking, and Smita was looking. So in the opening scene, Daksha written her diary and she wrote that, dear diary, पहली बार मैं तुम्हें लिख रही हूँ और मेरे after my marriage, it was you that when we got independence, women was not writing in India. So we are teaching, we are learning this Indian literature. So we also get the idea that what was the situation at that time for the women that we got independence. So she wrote that India got freedom, but still I'm prison for walls of the house. So it is the situation of her. She wanted to go out. She wanted to be free. She wanted to see the world. She wanted to become a friend. But she did not do this because of some problems with family. So family is always play a very vital role to oppress the Daksha. We discuss further, but I'm giving the brief introduction. Then Aruna Gandhi. Aruna Gandhi is the second generation. We can say our old mothers. In our mothers, you also can see the character of Aruna Gandhi, especially Aruna Gandhi always, she used to do puja of Lord Krishna. So, as a Gujarati, I told you that, it's very controversial, but in our house, there is always one ideal of Lord Krishna and our mother. Or in every morning, do puja. So, our mother is Aruna Gandhi, I can say that. So, Aruna Gandhi is that kind of character. She has no liberal mind. She has no her own thoughts, and yes, she is a God-feared person. So if I'm doing this, God will punish me. If I'm doing this, God will become angry on me. So this kind of mentality she has. And Smita Gandhi. So I can say that we all are Smita Gandhi. We are liberal. So Smita Gandhi represent our generation. We are also modern, but somewhere Smita Gandhi is represent us. So, woman in the play. So, I found one article written by the Suchishmita Bhattacharya, and in his article, she wrote that Dattani has always given importance to women in his play. The women in his play are sometimes a meek, submissive, calm, cool in a nature, whereas sometimes they are intelligent, brave, courageous, and potent, protest when required. So in this play, we also see that Smita Gandhi character. So she is intellectual, brave, courageous, and protest when she required. And on other side, we can see the character of Daksha. Daksha is a very submissive. She is calm, cool, but because of some reason, she stopped everything of her. So in this particular play, the time you talk about the three different women who represent the three different generations. Hartika represents the first generation, Aruna represents the second generation, and Smita represents the third generation. Hartika is known as Daksha in the play. So, who has seen the partition of India and communal tension as well? So, it is very interesting to see that now, till the death, we are changing our name after marriage. So, same thing happened with Daksha, that before the marriage, Hartika was known as Daksha, and after marriage, her in-law changed her name as a Hartika because her husband name is Hari and Hartika looks very good to listen. So it is also oppressiveness, and it's happened is that we are changing our surnames, we are changing our names according, and our in-laws wants because of. So this thing happened with Hartika too. So Hartika is such a woman who did love the Muslim until they killed her father in a communal riots. So it is the reason why why she was starting to hate this particular Muslim community. So character of Hartika, or we can say Daksha. Hartika is the mother of Ramnik Gandhi. She is also known as the Daksha in the play when the play revolves around the past. Daksha writes down everything in her diary because diary is her best friend. So as I told you that women on that particular time, women have no right to become a friend, to go out, to write. But she was courageous that she was writing a diary. And yes, diary is the only thing Daksha shared some particular work, and yes, especially some funny things she wrote, like she wrote about her mother-in-laws, and she told her mother-in-law Gachu and father-in-law Bag, and she also wrote that no, mine sees the bakri. So these kind of things, silly things, because she is a person to share the things, and till the death we have seen that in some caste or some community it might happen that people woman has no freedom to talk about so many things, they have no permission to go out, but slowly and steadily these things are the things are minutely slow down. So she has also one Muslim friend named Zarin. She loved to listen Noor Jahan and Shamsad Begum. Yes, I forgot to talk about this. Yes, she loved to listen Noor Jahan and Shamsad Begum, and that's why her in-laws also get aggressive. And one day she was singing for her husband. So her mother-in-law listened that, and next day she have to stop singing and listening the songs. So Afsana Yusuf in his article written that Daksha or Hardika in the play who becomes a victim of a male dominance. So as I told you that she was oppressed by in-laws, she represents a woman who is imprisoned with the four wall of the house in independent country like India. She is a newly married bride and is a lover of music. She loves the song sung by Noor Jahan, Shamsad Begum and Suraya. And yes, she wanted to be the friend of Zarin because of this singing. And at the Zarin's house, they used to listen this Shamsad Begum, Noor Jahan. And yes, Zarin is the person who listened Hardika. And Hardika tell everything to her. So Zarin is a very fascinating character. In this play, Zarin and Tasnim both have character named, but they are not visualized, or we can say that they are not on the stage, but behind the stage, they both character play a very vital role. Her diary shows her miserable condition as a married woman in a typical Indian society, and as she says that all my dreams have been shattered. I can never be a singer like a Noor Jahan. His family is against my singing film songs. His parents heard me humming a love song to Hari last night. So I told you that she was singing song for her husband, and next morning they told him to stop singing and say that stop listening, stop singing, and do just work as a good, or we can say typical Gujarati wife doing. And just a young girl who doesn't matter to anyone outside her home. So now, one thing I try to connect with the character of Sakina from the movie Gaddar Ek Prem Katha. So, because of the communal riots, both characters are beaten by the family. So Sakina married a Hindu person, or we can say Sikh person, and that's why the family of Sakina was against her, and she was beaten by the family. And the same happened with Daksha. So we can find the similarities between Sakina and Daksha. Both are beaten by family, and character very silently discuss the communal issues that Muslim are not very Muslim has no very good perception toward the Hindus, and Hindus has no same the good perception toward the Muslim. So Daksha and Sakina both are oppressed by the family. So it is a minute observation of mine. And in another article by Dhiren Parmar, I have found about the character of Hardika, that Hardika still has a resentment against the Muslim due to the event that had happened in her life following the partition, and thus she protests against Bobby and Javed's presence in her home. When the Bobby and Javed enters in the home, she denied to stay Javed and Bobby at her home because she had a bad experience in her past. So this is the one reason, and another reason is that she thought that Zarin family is the reason, because Zarin's family is the reason for the burning shop, and when Hari and his family is going to offer them jobs, also they denied. So these both are causes that Hardika has communal bias. And through the character of Daksha, the audience is slowly able to know the factors that are the source of Hartika's animosity. The first was the murder of her father in the hometown, Husainabad, which became a part of the Pakistan during the partition. And the second reason was that the physical and mental abuse she had to endure when her husband Hari and her in-laws found out about her friendship with her Muslim neighbor Zareen. Her son Ramik is secular Hindu and much more hospitable to the boy. But Ramik's kindness is partly driven by a guilt he feels over the running the business his father established by the cheating Zareen's family after partition. So, reading this, we can found that this communal riots or communal bias had happened because of us. Muslims don't want to harm Hindus. Hindus don't want to harm Muslims. But it was us for our own sake, for our own greed. We are using somewhere women, somewhere religion. So now let's come to what Aruna Gandhi. So as I told you that I want to give a more information about Daksha because Daksha is very fascinating character and most of story women around the character of Daksha. So Aruna Gandhi. So as I told you that Aruna Gandhi represent all our mothers. So Aruna Gandhi, wife of Ramanik Gandhi, she is a typical Indian housewife who is a God-feared person as well. She has spent her whole life in a puja path and she doesn't like to compromise with anything that is related to her God. And she also wanted her daughter Smita to do the same thing as she is doing. And yes, one of the interesting things when we have seen that movie that when Javed and Bobby come to the house for the shelter, and that time Ramanik Gandhi offered them water. So it is very interesting thing that how that Aruna Gandhi come with a glass of water and how she was giving a water to both Javed and Babban. So it's a distract that we have that communal bias, that untouchability. We don't want other community people touch our puja house or go our puja house. Also wanted do not enter in our veranda, our house. So this kind of mentality she has. So Aruna is a typical Gujarati woman. There is a observation is my observation. She was a blindly trust on God. She forced her daughter to do same things. And yes, when we are going to read character of Smita. So Smita told that she don't want to do this puja part, but she loved her. That's why she is doing this puja part and everything for her. So not so much open-minded. She has a communal bias and she thinks that my Lord is my word. My Krishna is my word. Whatever Krishna is seeing everything and she reward me whatever I'm doing good or bad. And she believes in untouchability. So I give the example of a movie that and also Milk. So how she was touched the glass and she has this communal bias as well as untouchability. She denied Javed and Bobby to touch the water which was used for puja. So now Smita Gandhi. So Smita Gandhi is very interesting character for the observation. Smita Gandhi is a girl who believes in a liberal ideology. She does help her mom in her puja work because she loves her mom, but she doesn't personally support all the things from the heart. Rather, at one point of the time, she gets tired of her mother's prejudice and convey her feeling to her mother. So, and one day, at the end, we found that she says that, please, mommy, don't try so hard. You are breaking me. Ever since I was small, you have been at me to go to the temple, make garlands, listen to you reading from the Gita. I love you, Mama, and that's why I did that. I listened to you and I obey you. I tolerate your prejudice only because you are my mother, and maybe I should have told you earlier, but I am telling you now. I can't bear it. Please don't burden me anymore. I can't take it. So at one point we see that Smita Gandhi is very obedient daughter as well as a very modern person. she don't want to disappoint her mother, and at the same time she don't want to let go her own principles. Dr. Pankaj Kumari, in his article written that in Final Solution, Dattani tried to investigate that the reaction to the communal prejudice are closely associated with the gender difference. Women like Hardika, Smita and Aruna, ever in their feminine grace and silence, can better relate to their oppressors. It shows women can think beyond their physical conscience on the matter like a communal violence. Aruna and Hardika are no longer interested in their sympathies. Smita too subsequently develops a suspicious and resentment for Javed and Bobby. Through the anger of these three women, Dattani suggested to communal and religious identities and have a deeper realization of a realization done by the name of religious fanaticism. The anger of these three women is an example of independent thinking and the history of honors of a partition, and that imply the laws of family and personal relationship and have a deep impression on the mind and sensibility of a woman. So, here I do the comparison between young Daksha and Smita. So, at the end of the play, we found that Daksha and Smita talk. There is a very little talk between Daksha and Smita. So Daksha told Smita that you are very lucky because you are doing what you want to do, and at my young age I cannot do because my in-laws forbidden me to do so many things. I have a Muslim friend as you have, but my in-laws deny me to meet them to listen my songs or listen song of Noor Jahan, Shamshad Begum. I cannot do further education because my family don't want to do this. And at the age of 15, she got married. And Daksha is studying at the age of 15. So we can see that when the first generation, second generation, and third generation are representing, so we can very clearly observe the gap that slowly and steadily we are moving toward liberalization, modernity, and so many things. So Daksha, as a young girl, has a liberal mind. Daksha, when she was young, she has a liberal mind. But now, when she grew old, she has no more liberal mind because of some hidden truth in her mind. Not so much educated, but she know how to writing. So it is very interesting to show that she was not so much educated, but she was trying to note down the thing, some contemporary events, some contemporary her own life. So she used to write a diary. She has a Muslim friend named Zareen, and she loved to listen song and singing song of Noor Jahan, Shamshad Begum. And she has a no communal bias as she was young. And she was also beaten by her in-laws. Young Daksha has no any communal biases. And now move toward the Smita. So Smita is also a young modern girl, as we all are. She is a more like a young Daksha, liberal-minded. She has affection toward Bobby, yes, it is very interesting to say. See, somewhere she loved to Bobby, but when she come to know that her friend was going to marry her, so she stopped her relationship, and they three are living as a good friend. So it shows the liberal mind of her. She has affection toward Bobby. She is a college student. She has a no gender and communal bias. And at the end of play, we can see that very mature Smita. So at the end, we can see that Smita told Javed to bring water for a puja. So it is saying that our generation, we can say third generation, will not believe in this communal bias or untouchability, and especially in this my God and your God. And she has also a Muslim friend named Tasnim. So it is the observation of my in the play of a final solutions by Mahesh Dattani. These are my citations. Thank you.
Yes, you can stop sharing. Yes, questions, very quick questions to her. It was a very long presentation, almost 25 minutes you have taken. Yeah. Yes, who is asking question to her? Niyati and Riddhi.
Yes, sir. If you get a chance, which kind of if you get a chance, which kind of changes you would like to make in the character of Daksha?
Can you please repeat the question?
If you get a chance, which kind of changes you would like to make in the character of Daksha?
In which character?
Daksha.
Okay. So, in a kind of changes. So yes, if I want to do some changes in Daksha, so I portrayed a more liberal Daksha. I portrayed a Daksha who going against family and yes, and Daksha who try to find the truth. Why there is a kind of particular reaction of a Zaren's family and some reaction of a her husband, and also in the play we see that she was beaten by family. So I portrayed a Daksha who take a step toward this betraying and these kind of things.
Okay, Nidhi. So my question to you that you talk about these three characters. So how you are considering character of Aruna Gandhi?
Okay, so Aruna Gandhi is very, we can say, a silent character. If she wants, she grew up herself. She come out from her biases. She wants to be a. She have to understand, right? Whatever she is doing toward a Javed or Babban,